So here, before starting with the objects, what I'm going to do, I'll ask some question here. We'll try to practice something here by using like array methods and string methods. We'll see. So here, I'm going to write simply that one as exercise section. Okay, fine. Array and a string. Methods. Okay. So now I'm going to write here something. We have already learned about the array.length property, isn't it? So simply let's say if I'm going to write one array here, okay, and in console.log, if I'll say array.length, what will be the output? Guys, your voice is very low.
1.
Array.length will be 1. Why 1 or why 0? If you're saying 1, then if you can explain why it will return 1. What exactly the length property will do? It will
How many
n- number of elements only it is going to return, no? So how many elements are there in this array?
no element?
No elements. So it will return
No.
0. So here we have like 0 element. Okay. Now tell me one thing. If I'm going to simply write here array, okay, and before that what I'm going to do, array of 0 is equal to apple. What will be the output?
It print apple.
It will print apple.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. And if I'm going to write here array dot length, what will
It
be
will
the
print
output?
1.
1. So you will get apple, and here what we have, the length as 1. Fine. Now I'm simply going to write here array dot length is equal to 100. What will be the output now? It will give me any error. If it will give error, what type of error it will be?
I think it not give any error. It just print apple and the total length should be there 100.
Length
In
should be
array.
100.
Yeah.
So how, see, right now the array is like this, means just one element is there. Now how actually it is going to print the array, the new array? It will remain same or what?
It remains same. It remains same. but that length property it increase, it will make 100.
That's it?
Yeah,
Not exactly. We have already seen these things. First apple, then
empty,
99
yes,
empty spaces it
empty
will create.
spaces. Yes.
So if it will not create 99 empty spaces, how you will get the length value as 100, isn't it? It will just return you one only. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so whenever you are writing like this, it is going to create those many empty spaces. Okay. Now tell me here, what if I'm going to write here array of 50? So now what it is going to print actually array length will be 100, that we know. What is the value of this one? Line number 741. Tell me.
It will print empty.
Empty? No,
Empty 29.
I have already explained about this. Like if something is not there and if you will try to print, you will get
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Undefined. Okay. So here we do not have any element on that particular index. Even though if you are going to write 150, no, 150. So in both of the cases, it is going to return what? Undefined. So here you need to understand, in interview, they might ask you like this. Like if you have an empty space, okay, it is there and you are trying to access the value of that particular what? Index. If it is not there, the value is not there in that particular index, you will get what? Undefined. Another scenario is if you are trying to access the index which is not available at all, then also you will get what? Undefined. So this is also interview questions. Okay, that you need to understand. Next thing, here I'm going to write array of 99 is equal to mango. Now what will be the output? Tell me. Just think about this, like how it is going to work. Now you know the scenario, how it is working, everything. What actually it is going to do? Tell me first.
It print on the position of 99. It store mango.
It will store
Yeah.
mango.
So it will display mango empty into 98 comma mango.
Mango or apple? Apple into,
Uh, yeah.
okay, exactly. So it is going to print what? Apple, empty spaces.
Empty
How
space
many empty
98.
spaces?
98
98. And at the last index of this array, you will get what?
mango.
Mango, isn't it? So always remember these things. They might ask you like this type of questions related to arrays. Okay. Now, here I'm going to add something. Let's say here you have to reverse an array. Okay. What you will do? Reverse an array. Here var arr is equal to, we have 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 6 comma 7. Here we have this array and they're saying you have to reverse this array. What you will do? Is there any method that we can use directly to reverse the array? We have one method, if you remember, in arrays methods, we have learned about the console.log. Okay, simply you need to reverse what this array dot. Okay, reverse. So it will reverse the array. See here, so simple. Okay, that's fine. This is the first case. Now you are able to reverse the array. That is fine. What if they will ask you to reverse the string? Because we do not have any method called reverse for a string. Okay, then tell me the logic, what you are going to write. Where str is equal to this is a string. Okay, so if they will ask you to reverse this string, can you please tell me like what you are going to do to reverse this string? Here, if you will try to access str, you will get this string. Okay, and
Uh,
str dot reverse, we do not have any method like that as we have here for string. So what we can do to reverse this?
we can use that strip and join method. There is some,
A split.
yeah, split and join method together to reverse it.
So what exactly I have to do? Tell me here.
Uh,
Why I'm using a split?
a split to get in a form in array.
Okay, that will form an array. So
Uh,
simply, if you will write str dot split. Okay, so a split is a method for a string, isn't it?
yes,
So a split what? If I'll
is
write like this,
hmm,
I'm getting this one array.
one array.
Yeah. So how you are going to reverse then?
After that,
If you will reverse this one,
mhm.
okay, so you will get the same array because here you have just one element in this array. How you will reverse this? So you need to pass a separator. If you remember yesterday only we have learned.
Space, blank
No
space.
space. Without
Without
space.
yeah, single it will come give
So here it will give you
single.
each and every character here in form of array, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if it is an array, what we
Then
can do?
dot we can use dot reverse.
Dot reverse, if you will use here, what will happen?
It is G G N I T. Okay, it reverse each and
What will happen? It is going to return you again one array
one
only.
array only.
So how you are going to change this array into what?
By no, join method dot join.
Okay, dot join if you will use,
It
then
it gave us string.
here it is giving you this.
Okay, but inside that
Can we join like this?
remove
We'll
space.
get,
Yeah, but it is reversing.
yeah, so same thing it is doing, no? It is reversing the complete character. So if they will ask you now, here we have reversed the string. Okay. Now, what they are going to ask, the second scenario here, what I'm doing here, why I'm using a split? Because directly we cannot reverse this string. If we will use a split, no, so it will return one a splitted character array. Okay, and on array we can use this reverse method. Okay, and reverse is going to give what? Again one the reversed array, and on that array we can use join method again. And here in join, that's why I asked you yesterday and day before yesterday that go through these methods. Okay, then only you will be able to write the logic. If you don't know about these methods, I have already explained about these things. So how you will implement that, isn't it? So the method chaining also you can do. So this is the first case. Now, what if they are going to ask you, you know, like here we have a string. So this string should come first, then a, then is, then this. The order should be changed, not the entire string should be appear in the reversed form. So then what you can do? Tell me that logic if you can tell me. Just think about that. The logic will be the same, just one minor change you have to do, you know.
We have to make a space inside split. This
Simply, yeah, go one by one. So str
dot split
dot split,
and
and previously we were using this like
blank space.
there's no space. Okay, split each and everything, but now I'm going to say split it from there only where we have spaces. So this is a
Okay,
string. We have now these many words. Okay, now what we can do? Simply we can write here dot
reverse.
reverse. So it is going to reverse that string, isn't it? This is a string, but still this is not an string, isn't it? The requirement is done, but still we need to convert these things into what? An array, isn't it? So what you have to do, you need to use join. Simply if you'll join like this, you have here, you can see comma. This is, you can see there is no space at all. Now you have to give here one space. Join all those words with one space. So here we have that one. This is a string, isn't it? So reverse a string means here the entire character you are reversing, and here just you are changing the order of the words of that particular string, isn't it? So these methods are very useful in real time. Okay, you have to use these things only. Now let's say, have you seen in Outlook if your name is, let's say, mm, MSD, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and just you have to take, let's say, the first initial character of that name. Okay, so initial character, let's say here we have this one. Okay, so here how many words are there in this name? Tell me first. How many words are there in this string? We have three, no? Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So initial will be appear like this, M, S, okay, and D. But we have to take up to two characters only. Even though if your name is having like more character, like sorry, more number of words, more than two words, okay, then also you have to take the first two words initial. Are you getting my point? So here in this case, you have to take M and S. Let's say if you have just one word in your name, then you have to print this one only, the first word initial only. So can you write that logic for name initial? You might have seen in the email, if your name is uh, Himanshu Kumar, let's say. So H and K, it will show you H and K. So like that you have to do. So what logic you can write for that one? If you can tell me what we can do if I want to access this one. The first means palle here you have to find like number of words. Okay. So how you will find the number of words here in array or in a string? Tell me. Console dot log. Okay. If you have to print like how many words are there in this string, how you will print that? Tell me. Anyone? What we can do? If you will simply write str.length, it will print like number of characters. That we don't want. Here it is 20. That we don't want. We want like number of words, not the characters. So can't we do this? str.split and split it from wherever we have a spaces, no? Split it from there. So a split, you need to pass a separator that from where it should split. So from space. So how many words are there? Means items are there in array? 3. And then you can find here dot length.
Represent.
You will get 3. Isn't it? Isn't it? So here, if I want to access the first word, you are able to get that one. Because if you will split this one, you will get what? Array. So this is, assume this one, this is array and you are writing array of 0. So array of 0 will be what? Mahendra. If I'll write here 1, then you will get Singh. If you will write here 2, you will get Dhoni. So like that you can do. So here what I'm going to do, where name array, here I'm going to write. And in that, what I'm going to do is simply I'll write this one. I will split whatever string is there. I will split that first and will print here. So here we'll get name array. So here we have that array, isn't it? So what you have to print, the first letter of the first word and first letter of the second word, if it is there. Even though if you have like 3 words, you do not have to go for the third word. Okay. So if I'm writing simply here, let's say 0, you will get Mahendra. Okay. And if you want to access the first character of this string, what you can write here? 0 of 0.
0, 0. Yeah.
So you will get what? M. Okay. We have seen these things, no? If you want to access any string like character, just you need to pass the index of that particular character. So in Mahendra, if you want to access H, so you have to pass 0 of what? 2. You will get H, isn't it? So now here you have to pass 0. Here you have M. Now the next word you have to find. So simply you need to write plus, okay? You can concatenate, isn't it? Plus the same thing. First we will see name of array. Again, it will be Mahendra. So if you want to access Singh, you have to pass here 1, name array of 1. So here M Singh, but you don't want the complete Singh. You want what? Just the first character. So 0 is nothing but the index of 0 of that particular character. So here you will get what? MS. Are you getting that? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like that, you can write here the name initial logic. And here we are using these methods only. In one line only, we are able to do so. So you can use these things in real time. So in real time, in email or in any application, if you have seen, if you log in with your email ID, it will give you by default the name initial if you will not upload your profile pic. So in the same way, they have implemented those things. Okay. So you can do these things. Next thing is, let's say, if you want to just simply, I'm going to show you one thing. If you want to display this string in uppercase, what you can do? Str dot
Uppercase.
to uppercase, isn't it? This is a one method we can write. Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay. What if you want in lowercase?
To lowercase.
Lowercase. That is fine. Now, if someone will ask you, I want capitalized. If you have here D in a small, S also in a small, okay, M also a small only. And someone will ask you to display this one, like the for each and every word, the first letter should be capital. What logic you will write for that one? Because we do not have any method for that. Tell me. Can we do the same thing here? This array first. So if you will use this array, it will split those things with the spaces. And what you will get as output in array form, you will get Mahendra. Okay, here you have to pass Singh, no? Singh, then Dhoni. So here, let's say I'm going to print here console.log name array. You will be able to see that, isn't it? So this is one array. So can we use here for loop just to iterate through that? For var name, okay, of name array. So every time it will copy one word in it. Okay. So what I want is here simply first I'll print these things console, then you will be able to understand dot log. So here I'm going to print name. Okay, name. See, we are getting here name array first and then Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We are able to access all those three words, isn't it? Now, so here what you have to do is simply you need to write a logic like this, like every time whenever you are getting any word, okay, so you need to store that one here. Let's say where new name, where new name. So the new name you have to write here. New name I'm going to assign here and I will initialize it with empty string. Okay. And here I'm going to write the new name plus, okay, new name plus, what we can do is here, this one I'm going to write like this, let's say array form. So new name dot push. Okay. What we are going to do is, tell me what we can do here. If I want to push the names in this one, can we write here name? Can we write here name? So now if you'll try here new name, you will get the same thing, isn't it? So we are able to push. But what we have to do is every time when we are pushing this one, what we have to do? Tell me. We need to update the first character of that particular word. So
Uh,
what
correct
logic we
character at 0 after the dot uppercase.
can we write that?
Character 0, it's 1.
So here if we will write, if you are saying like that, char,
It will
instead
print
of
on.
char we can use at also. We have that method, no?
Yeah,
At 0 dot
to uppercase.
to uppercase.
I think it change in whole thing.
Now see, new name. You are getting no? Initials you are getting.
MSP, okay.
Okay. But what
TSP.
you have to do is, tell me, you have to take the complete word, no?
Yeah.
So what you can do? Can we write this? Plus simply name dot, if you remember this slice method from index 1, copy each and everything. And now if you will get the new name, are you getting this? Are you getting this or not? What we were doing, just we were taking this one as a first name and we were capitalizing that one. And after that, we are copying, like whatever the length is there, I don't care. From the index 1, copy the entire name. So let's say here you have, now you will understand, new name of 0. Okay, new name of what? 0. This is one string. If you will write simply slice on it, and you are saying, hey, I want to copy from the starting index I'm giving and not giving the last index. So it will take the entire string. From where? From index 1. So that's what I did here. Okay. And then I'm concatenating. Do you remember this?
Yes, yes. Adding two string in
To a string or to number also, if you will
yeah,
add, it will convert into what? A string only.
string only.
And then I'm pushing it where? In this array.
No,
New name every time. Okay. So now we can make one method called function to capitalize. Okay. So it will accept two things. Okay. Two things means here it is going to accept what? The first thing as an array only. We will pass the string only. We will pass one string. Okay. And we'll one second. We'll copy this one and we'll paste it here. Okay. We'll paste this one here. Fine. And here what I'm doing, I'm storing here first. See, no need of this console now. First, here I'm taking the string, whatever string you will pass. I'm taking that one and I'm splitting it. Then I'm looping through that. And finally, what I can do is I can return. Okay, return what?
New name.
New name. Okay, we'll see one thing, like we will not get here exactly the string, we'll get an array. So we have created one method. Now, if I'll call this one, let's say to capitalize what? So here we have already one variable, no? So we can pass this one as an argument, isn't it? And when we will pass this one as an argument, it will return that. So here it is not returning because we do not have console. Simply we will write here, you are getting this Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay. So in console, we can write this, then you will be able to get that. Console.log. Here we will get that result as an array. But I don't want array, isn't it? I want what? A string. So simply I'm going to write here join, okay, with this one space. Now you will get this string. Okay. And now this is dynamic. Here I'm taking this string, no? I'm writing here Himanshu Kumar or whatever I'm writing here like this in a small case. In a small case, it will return you in this form, isn't it? So likewise, we can create a function for name initial also, isn't it? Name initial also we can create, no? So here I'm going to copy the same method. And what I'm going to do, we'll take a string, okay? And after that, here I'm going to uh, split each and everything here, okay? And then we'll push. One second. Here just we have to take one or two, no? So we can create now, tell me, first we will split that string. That is fine. Here I'm going to write name initial. So whatever string we will pass, that we need to split first, okay? And after that, we have to take just two string from there, okay? We do not have to loop through each and everything. We have to take just that also we can do. That also we can do. So two uppercase I'm doing here for each and every character. We'll push that one and we'll see what I'm getting. Control C, console.log. Here I'm getting MSD, isn't it? But I don't want like this. Here I'm getting MSD. So it is going to just print what? One only, one character only, or two character. So in that case, what we can do is here name dot join, okay, dot, can we take this one like this? What we can do here, tell me, like if I have to just return just 0 and 1, not last one. So what we can do, can we use here slice again? Slice, we'll write start from 0, end at 2. So last index will not be included over there. So you will get just MS. So if you are going to pass any character or any string here, based on that, it is going to first split Okay, and after splitting that, I'm not taking each and everything, I'm just taking the first character of that particular string and converting that into uppercase if it is in lowercase also. Okay, and after that I'm taking this array, and from that array I'm joining each and everything here, you can see, and then I'm just taking the first two character from that array and I'm returning it. So like this, you can see, you can create like any function, just you have to implement the logic by using these things only. Am I using anything here which I have not explained you? Tell me. I have explained you about these methods. I have explained you about this for of loop, how to iterate through this. I have explained you about the function parameters, function arguments, about return, each and everything, isn't it? Tell me. I have explained or not?
Yes, sir, you explain everything.
Yeah, so you should be actually able to write uh, your own logic in your own way. It's not mandated to write like the same thing whatever I have written here. You can implement in your own way also. Okay, so here we have created two different functions. I have shown you like individually you can do that, but that is not like for the reusability purpose. If you want to reuse that, then go with the your own like user defined function, you can say, and then whatever you want to do customization you can do here. You have seen we had like directly the string method to uppercase to lowercase, but we have created here what? We have created over here to capitalize also, name initial also. So here you are not able to write like this string dot to capitalize. We will learn about that, how to add any method into like array prototype or in a string prototype. Okay, that we will see later after objects. So this is all about like you can see here related to array and what? Strings. Now we are going to start with objects. Fine. We'll learn about what? Objects. So have you heard of this object? What exactly objects are in JavaScript? Anyone?
Whenever we have to define properties to we have a book, then there is a property that there inside there is a page. Suppose you can take a phone. Inside that there is a property there is a screen, there is a keypad, and there is color that we can define an object.
Okay. Okay. And what is the advantage of that?
Advantage. Um,
That we will see here. See. So object is a another like you can say data type in JavaScript, which we have learned about the primitive and non-primitive. So in non-primitive, we have already seen about the arrays and functions, isn't it? So if you will check the type of function, what you will get? Type of function is what? You will get function only.
yeah.
But if you will check type of array, you will get object. Type of object, you will get object. So it doesn't mean that if you are getting type of function, that is a different type of data type in JavaScript. That is a subtype of object. Okay. So function is also object in JavaScript. That I will prove you when I'll explain you about the prototypes. But here I'm going to start with the objects. So let's say here you have where user. Okay. Here you have where user, and you are going to write here name or user name. Here I'm going to write Dan. Okay. Now, if you have to write here designation, You have to declare again dev slash mentor. Fine. So if you have to write like multiple things about a user, so here for one user that is fine. Let's say if you have the same detail like designation or employee name, designation, years of experience, then what you will do in that case, you will define those many times that variable. Is it feasible to define each and every time dynamically? Can you do that? No, that we cannot. So for that reason, here you have to write this one like empty curly brace. It will represent you as an object. Here, this is not an object. It is a like empty curly brace. Okay, you won't get any error here. Okay, but the same thing if it will appear on the right hand side of the bracket, or if you will pass this one as an argument in a function, then it will behave like an object. So that we are going to see. So define any object, you have to write one, let's say here we have to write the curly brace, and inside curly brace, okay, you have to write the property, okay, and it will contain two things. First one is key, another one is value. Okay, first one is key, another one is value. So key is known as, here whatever you are going to write, that is known as property name, and this one is property value, and the complete thing key value, okay, key and value is nothing but property of this particular object. This is property name, this is property value, and any type of value you can assign here. Any type of means here inside object also you can assign one object, and you can write primitive value also. Okay, like boolean, number, string, anything you can write over here. So right now this is an object. Here you will get one error, value is not defined. So what exactly the value is? Okay, it will not understand. So this is syntax. Whenever you are going to create any object, you have to open the curly braces, and inside that you have to write first the property name and the property value. So this is also known as key and value. So this is kind of pair. It will always appear in the pair. Another thing is like if you have multiple properties. So if you have multiple properties means you have to write the different property name. Okay. You cannot keep the same property name for two different properties. So here you have to write another property name like key2, then colon, and here you are going to write again another value. Something will appear here. Okay. But if you have just one property, that is fine. If you have more than one property, you have to separate these two properties with comma. With comma, you have to separate. Okay. And this property name, even though if you are writing like this, automatically it will convert into internally, implicitly, you can say into a string only. So even if you are writing key1, internally it will assume this one as key1 as a string in double quote or single quote. Let's say here I'm going to write 12, and here I'm going to write true. Okay, so two different types of values are there. Okay, two different types of values are there. So key1 and key2. Now if you want to access this object, okay, so then you have to assign this one into any right where obj is equal to. So here I'm simply assigning this. Okay, we'll save. Okay, as you can see, this is one expression, so you have to end this one with the semicolon. But inside this, if you will write like this semicolon, you will get syntax error. Okay, yeah, so syntax error you will get. So you have to separate two properties with the comma, and the last property may end with comma. There's no problem, you can write comma at the end also, you won't get any error. Even if you are omitting this one, you are not writing the last means comma for the last property, it will work. Okay, if you will write, then also it will work. So to separate two properties, you have to always mention a separator, this comma operator. Okay, till here everything is okay, fine. So now I'm going to write here where obj is equal to, will assign simply like this, empty curly brace. Okay, and now we'll try to print here on console dot log what is obj. So you will get here this is an object. Okay, and if you will write here type of obj, no, you will get object. Okay, now so inside this I'm going to do what, I'm going to add some properties. Okay, so as I have explained here, you have to always write the property name in a form of like key value pair, means property name then value, and whatever value you want you can write. So what I'm going to write here is obj, I'm going to write here name. Okay, colon done. Okay, I'm going to write another property, so here you have to put a separator called comma. Another thing here I'm going to write, that is instead of designation we can write simply role. Okay, we'll write here developer. Okay, two properties I have defined, and now I'll try to print this object. So see here we are getting this one as an object, and how many properties are there? Two properties. If you will write here, no, object dot length. Okay, length, you are getting what? Undefined. Okay, so you are not able to access the length of the object. Like entries you are not able to find here, like array, as we were doing like simply array dot length. Here you won't be able to find like that. So we have another way that we can use here to just check like how many entries are there. We have already learned about those methods in array also, that we will see later. But now here, to declare any object, first you have to mention the object name, and name is required because if you want to access that object later for reusability purpose, you have to always mention a name. Okay, that we already know. Now the first thing here, we have seen like how to create an object by using this is the first way. Another way, and this method is known as object literal. Okay, whenever you will use curly brace, this is known as object literal method. Another way is here that you can create an object where obj1 is equal to new, and this is known as constructor method. Okay, constructor method to create an object. So here I'm going to print this one and we'll see what it is going to print here. See, I'm getting one empty object. So that is fine here. Like we know the two ways, like the one is the constructor method function. By using that also you can create an object, and the first one and the most of the time you are going to use this one only. So this is only the popular way like that you can use to create an object. So this is known as object literal method. Okay, so here I'm going to comment out this one. We know how to create an object. This was like the syntax, and here I have written the real object that we can access. Now we know how to create that. Let's say if you want to access any property value, okay, of this object, then what you are going to do? So for that one, you have to use the dot notation. Dot notation means I want to access the value of this property. Then you have to write object dot name. So here simply you can write object dot name. So object dot name, if you will access, so name is kind of variable. So what value it is holding here right now? Tell me. It is holding Dan. Okay, so it will print Dan only. What if you want to access the role value? So you need to write that particular object name and the property name. You want to access the value of that particular property. So simply you need to write object dot role. So you will get developer. So this is the first way that you can access the object name. Okay. Now, how to add a new property? Okay. How to add a new property? So let's say if you want to add something here, like I have written here directly inside this object, fine. But later, if you want to add some property in this, how you can do so? So simply what you have to write that object name where you want to add the property. Then dot means inside that you are able to access name and role. See, name and role. Are you able to see this cuboid symbol? Means that is property. So name and role, these two things are property, which is already defined. Now what I'm going to do is I'm simply writing object dot new property. I'm going to assign here is fe dev, means is front end developer, and will assign here like normal variable as we assign here. Yeah, true. Okay, true. Now what I'm going to do is simply I'm going to check here this one. Name is Dan, role is developer, is dev is a new property I have added here. So if you want to add any new property, you can use this method. Okay, and here you can see is fe dev true. Here if you want to add something, then you can use that object name, whatever property you want to add in it, write that name equal to whatever value you want to assign that. Fine. What if you want to reassign some existing property? What you have to do? So simply in which object, like if you have like multiple object, you have to mention the name. So object obj dot object dot role, okay, is equal to, it is developer. So I'm going to assign here as mentor. Okay, we'll save this one and see here, this got updated. Even though if I have written here as a developer initially, later if I have tried to update that, I'm able to do so. Okay, so now we know how to create an object, what is the structure of object, how to access a value of an object, how to assign or add a new property in it. Okay, so these things now we know. Next thing is, what if you want to delete something from here, this object? If you want to delete, let's say you have added delete, and then what you have to delete? First, you have to mention that I need to delete the obj, means for this object, dot which property? Name. Okay, we'll save this one. Now see, there is no name property right now because we have deleted here that delete obj.name. Fine. So now we know how to create an object, the structure of object, how to add a new property, how to access that property name of particular object, how to reassign value, how to delete that. Okay, these things now we know. That's fine. Now we have another thing here, that is computed values. Okay, computed values means I don't know what exactly the property name will be. Okay, here, let's say this one is name. I'm going to just comment this one. Okay, I'm going to comment this one also. We know this one, no? This one also. Here we have name. So instead of name, okay, instead of name, I'm going to write here kind of array. Where I'm writing in the place of key. I will write prop name, means property name. So right now, if you will try to access this object, okay, see, reference prop name is not defined. So it is waiting actually. Right now, what is actually prop name? Okay, so that is kind of variable. After evaluation only it is going to print. So if you will pass this one in a string form, no, string form, you will get prop name as a property because here you have converted into a string. Okay, now if you will not pass this one as a string inside this subscript or inside the uh, this bracket, then what you have to do is where prop name is equal to, I'm going to write here my name, and always remember this should be in the form of string only. Okay, here right now I'm writing as a string. So let's see here. Now this prop name is getting evaluated whatever I have passed here. Now if I'll write here this one as what? True. Here the property name is true. Okay, and this is not actually the boolean value, this is a string. As I said, internally whatever you are going to write will be converted into a string only. The key name, okay, or the property name is going to converted into what? A string. So based on the prop name, whatever you are passing, later it is changing the property name. So this is dynamic. So this is also one case that you can use here. Okay, now next thing is, if you want to access this property, Okay, this one. So what you have to do simply, if you will write dot, okay, dot prop name, what you are getting? Undefined. You are not able to access this. We will see later why you are not able to access. Now I'm going to write here user name. Okay, now you will be able to, where is that? Prop name, object prop name. Okay, one second. Obj dot prop name, one second. Username. Sorry. So prop name is one variable. So dot, if you will write username, okay, user name, you will be able to get that value because this is dynamic, no? So, and this one is one variable name. Whatever you will assign, that will be evaluated, and here it is getting updated as what? Username. So username, if you will try to access, then only you will be able to access that one. Okay. Now, what if you want to access this by whatever the prop name they are going to pass? I'm not sure with that. So then instead of the dot notation, you can use this subscript kind of object. And then inside that, if you will pass prop name, okay, you will be able to access the same thing because here it is going to evaluate this. And what is the value of that prop name? That is username in the form of a string. So here you can pass this one as a string. Okay. And here you will be able to access this. Previously, we have seen when the value was, excuse me, true. Okay. We were not able to get the result here. Now we can write like this and we will be able to get this one true. Even if we will write without a string, we can simply write the prop name. So what is the value inside prop name? True. And in which form it is? In a string. You are able to access this. Let's say if it is not a string also, normal Boolean value, then also you are able to access this one because as I said, the property name which you are using internally, it is going to change into what? A string only. So here it is converting that value into a string and object dot of true it is accessing, which is done because here it is also evaluating first and then only it is assigning the key name. Now the next thing is here, what if I'm going to write here like this? What will be the property name? Anyone can tell me here now? What will be the property name? It will be, if you know the concatenation and you have learned true demo. So here it is true demo. So you can write any expression in it whenever you are going to evaluate this one. Okay. So the final, you can see the property name is what? True demo. So you can access here this one as dot true demo. You're able to access that property value, isn't it? So here you can write any expression if you are writing this key in that form, like that computed properties form. Okay, then you can write like this. And here also you can access that one. But here I'm writing the evaluated name. That's why I'm getting that result. If you will write like this, simply prop name, you won't get that result. You will get undefined. Okay, so for that here also you have to do what? Plus you have to write that name demo. Then only you will get that result. Okay, or else you can do is here you can write directly true demo. So any expression you are writing here, that will work like that. Now next thing here, when to use, like two ways we have seen to access any object properties value. One is the dot notation, another one is here this subscript one. So most of the time we use what? The dot notation only, object dot. But in case if you have something like this, so two words are there in your property name, so directly you can see here you are getting error. So directly you cannot write like this. So you have to wrap this one as a string, my role. Now if you want to access this one, dot my role, okay, automatically it is giving you like this, no, this array. If you will write like this, no, you will get what? Error, because this is not a valid name. It will say object dot my, which is not there, it is not defined, and then a space is there. So you will get obviously here one error saying that, see, this is syntax error. If you will remove this role, you will get undefined. See here. So if you want to access any like multiple words, a property name, then you have to use what? You have to use in that case this bracket. Okay. And then here you have to write that my role. Then only you will be able to see that result. So now you got the difference why we are using here bracket notation. Both of them we can use, but in case if we have something like this, like some a computed property name or any property name which is having like more than one character, there's one space, then you cannot access that property name directly. Then you have to use what? This subscript only, array bracket you have to use. Okay. We have seen this. Now let's say I'm going to write here function. Okay. Return true demo. So tell me what will be the output now. Here I'm writing one expression in it. So what will be the output? Anyone? You will get undefined. See, but if you will call this function, as I said, you can pass here any expression. You will get what? Dan, because after to access the array values also. So that also accepts this kind of expression. So you can write like this. Now, the next thing here we have seen like what is the use of uh, dot notation, when to use that one, and the array bracket also. Now we know when to use the array bracket. In interview they might ask you like why they have like developed this two kind of this object property accessor, or you can say whenever you want to assign something, then why they have defined these two different varieties here. So because whenever you have like any property name with the multiple keywords, or if you have like any computed properties, then you can use what, the array subscript or array bracket, else you can go with the dot notation. So that's why here we have that feasibility that we can use any one of them. Okay, now next thing is here like property value shorthand. Let's say here we do have another object. Okay, we'll comment this one. Function new obj. Okay, here I'm accepting name. Another thing is role. Fine. And based on that, I'm creating here new object. Return what? Name is equal to whatever name user is going to pass, comma, role is equal to whatever role user is going to pass here. So this name is nothing but this argument. See, when I'm clicking here, it is getting highlighted. And this one is this role. Fine. So it will return that. So let's say here I'm going to write where obj is equal to I'm calling this method, and here as a name argument I'm passing Dan, and here as a role here I'm passing this argument dev, means developer. So when we will call this function, it is going to return this object, and here the new object will be created. Okay, simply I'm going to write this console.log. We'll see what is the output here for this. We are getting one object, no? It is creating one object, no? So name we are getting what? Dan, and role we have here dev. So in case in ECMAScript 6 they have introduced this feature. In case if your key name or the property name and the value is same, as you can see, name, role, then instead of writing twice, that's why I said this is property value shorthand. So directly you can write name, and here you can write what? Role. No need to write twice. Simply if you write name, role, it will work. See, you will get the same result. Okay. When you can do this, when you have the key name and value name is same. Okay. Here role, name, then you can use this one. No need to write twice like key, colon, then value. Automatically it is fetching, no? So you can use this. Now we have like if you remember, we have learned about the naming conventions of the variable. Okay, so here we do not have any limitation like that. We cannot use any what the keyword or reserve word here as a property name, so that we will see. Let's say here I'm going to declare a variable called var obj is equal to for is a keyword or not. I'm going to write here 12. Late is a keyword or not. Yeah. So here I'm going to write 23. We have in operator, that is also keyword or not. Yes. I'm going to write here 34. We have if is also a keyword, isn't it? I'm going to write 100. We have return also, return as a keyword. I'm going to write 200 here. We'll save this one. I'm not getting any error. Let's see if we will print this one, what will be the output. So simply I'm going to copy and paste this one as an object. See, so here it is giving me as an array for let in if return. What if I want to access this one, object dot if? You are getting that? No, 100. So you are able to access. Why it is happening? Because internally here it is converting this for into a string, as I said previously also. So whatever key name you are writing, that will be converted into what? In a string form. So that's why here it is not giving me any error. It is possible to write any keyword as a name. Even though if you will write here, let's say if you have to access this one like by dot notation you have seen. Simply if you will use this one as, here we have if, you will get error because this is not an what we say identifier. So this is a string. So here you have to write a string if. Okay, you are getting no 100 and 100. Likewise, let's say here you have 0 as 90, and if you want to access 0, so can you write like object dot 0? You will get error, syntax error, isn't it? You cannot write like this, no? This is not a valid name. So in this case, if you are not able to use this one, what you can do is simply here you have to write 0. You will get 90. And if you will write in a string format also, this integer is nothing but a string only. Here we have explicitly written as a string, but if you will pass simply as 0 like this, then also it is getting converted into what? A string only by default. So that's why you are getting this result. So that you need to always remember. Okay. So there is no limitation here that you have seen in interview. They will confuse you actually by writing this one. You will think, hey, he's writing or she's writing like this, like they are using the keywords. How we can use this? We can use actually. There is no restriction with this one in objects. You can use. Now, after this, we have like, we have to check whether some property is there or not in this one. So I'm going to keep this object only. Let's say if you have to check whether like thousands records are there and you are not aware of that, whether the particular property is there or not in this object. Let's say if you are checking whether return is a property of object or not, then how you can do? How you can write like write that? Simply, can we write here? As I said, if something is not available, what you will get? If property is not available, you will get undefined. Okay. Console dot log. If you'll try to access object dot demo, we know demo is not there. Okay. You will get undefined. Okay. Now object dot here, I'm saying, let's say return We have here 200. So simply I can write check. This is triple equal to, okay. Check if it is undefined, okay. It means it is not there in this object. So it is false. False means it is there, isn't it? Object dot return is equal to undefined, I'm saying, means it is giving me false, means it is there. Let's say here you have another property called demo undefined. Okay, undefined. And you are writing here object dot demo. So here by using this, just we are verifying whether the property is existing or not here in this particular object. So it will say you true. What is the meaning of this? Like if it is returning me object.demo is equal to undefined, means here undefined you will get in two cases. Here you have initialized and that value you are getting here undefined, isn't it? And undefined is equal to undefined. So in this case, even though demo is present in this object, it will give you the result as true, means it is not there. So here this one is a gotcha actually. How to overcome with this? So in that case, here we have one operator called, we have learned about this one already in relational operator, if you remember, that is in operator. Console.log, simply the syntax is like this. Check key in whatever object you have. Okay, fine. Whatever object you have. So key will be always in what? Single quote or double quote. Okay. So here the object name is what? OBJ. Okay. And which property you are trying to check here? Demo. Okay. So it will give you demo is in that object. It will say yes. Check if is in that object. Yes. Ifs is there. No. So if you want to check like whether this property is available in this object or not, you can use what? In operator. Okay, you can use in operator. Now, so because of this gotcha only, whenever you are defining like the default value in any object property, it is always a best practice not to define this undefined. Always go with the demo one colon null. So whenever you want to define an empty value, no, empty value, initialize with that null. So now if you will write like this demo one, no, demo one in an object, it is true, it is there. But if you will write here that demo one is equal to undefined, it will give false. No, it is not undefined. It is what? Null. Then you can use. So in this case, you are not getting that error or that gotcha here. So always whenever you are going to initialize the empty value for the object property, use null instead of undefined. Okay. Otherwise you will get confused whether this property is there or not. If that property is not there, then also you will get undefined. If that property is there and it is initialized with undefined, then also it will give you what? Undefined only. Okay. Any question? No question? Okay. So the next thing is here, let's say you have to print each and every value of this object. What you can do? Simply you can use for in loop. Okay. For in loop. So here I'm going to write here where key in from which object? OBJ. So as we were using this iteration thing for the array. There it was taking the index. Here it is taking what? Keys. So here you can print simply those keys. Console dot log. If you want to check what are the keys are there, see, we have here 0, for, let, in, if, return, demo, demo1. So one thing, if you have observed, why 0 is coming on top, it is not coming in that form as we have written over here. So here this is getting converted into what? Number. So number will come first. Okay. And if you want to avoid that, what you can do, simply write like this. If you will write like this, then also it will come on top. So here add one plus. Okay. So if you will add plus, no, here you see, you are getting what? This one at that place only wherever you have written. So if you will think like how to access that one, if I'm writing that obj of 0, uncaught error. If you'll write obj you are getting undefined. Okay, so here you are not getting that value, so you have to actually truncate that one. So if you will convert this one into number, obj, one second. If you remember, we have learned about these things. Here we are getting plus. If we'll add plus, you are getting what? 0. So same thing we can do here, plus, and just to convert that, see, now you are getting what? That exact value. It is getting converted and it is getting evaluated first, and you are getting 90. So if you want to keep that order, whatever you have written, you can use this trick. Otherwise, means it is okay to keep that one like coming first, like that you can see here. Okay, so if you want to check here, let's say the keys of any object, you are able to see this. Okay, and you can now do one more thing. If you are able to access key, means you will be able to print the values also. Obj of key, see, 12, 23, 34, 100, 290, undefined null. So you can play with these things. Okay, so this is all about like the basic intro of the object, like how to create an object, what are the ways that we can write, how to access, when to use these array bracket, when to use the computed properties, when to uh, use the dot notation, how to delete a property, how to reassign a existing property, how to check whether this property is there or not in this object. So these things are the basic thing, but most of the time you are going to use in the real time. So tomorrow we will see more about the objects, like how to work with this keyword. And but before that, now, as we know, like what is the object right now, the basic intro. So first we will continue with the call by value and call by reference, then we'll learn about what var, let, and const difference, then we'll go for the next topics of the object. Okay.